Hi children, good evening one and all. In today's class, we will learn something regarding multiple choice questions in our chapter Changes Around Us. See, before going to solve these multiple choice questions, let us have one of the IIT question which is very important regarding the ice change. Regarding the ice change. See now, a student takes some ice cubes in a glass. So, one of the student has collected ice cubes in a glass. After some time, the ice melts completely. The water then kept in the freezer and becomes ice again. So, what the student has done, he has collected ice cubes in a glass. He kept for a while outside. After 10, 15, 20 minutes, it has completely turned into liquid. Again, he took that liquid and once again kept that liquid in freezer, deep freezer. After a few hours, it once again converted into ice. Okay. So, from this, we will get few questions. What type of change is melting of ice? What type of change is freezing in water? Are these changes reversible or irreversible? Is a new substance is formed? These are the questions that a child got in his mind. So first thing is melting. So what is melting? Ice should get converted into water. Substance is still H2O. Though it has converted from solid to liquid, the components which are present inside is H2O only. So it is a physical change. Regarding freezing, this liquid once again convert into ice, solid state. So here substance still H2O, so it is also a physical change. Ice can become water and water can become ice again. These are reversible changes. No new substance is formed in both the cases. So the answer is melting of ice is a physical change and freezing of water is also a physical change. Both the changes are reversible. No new substance is is formed in this particular case. So this is the idea that child got by observing water and ice. Okay. Now we'll start. Choose the best answers. See now. An example of undesirable change. Undesirable means human does not want that kind of change. Human feels difficult if that change happens. That is called undesirable change. Melting of snow on mountains, it is actually useful. It is desirable because the melting of ice in the mountains will occur in the form of rivers. Okay, rivers will help a lot to the people. Right? Evaporation of water? No. Earthquake, flowering of plants. All these other than earthquake, all are useful to the human beings, all are helpful to the human beings. Earthquakes are undesirable changes. Undesirable in the sense human does not need them. Human feel discomfort if that change happens. The answer is earthquake. One more, an example of periodic change. What is meant by periodic change? It should happen regularly. Okay. So, swinging of wall clock pendulum, landslides during rainy season, rusting of iron, sneezing. See, sneezing will come occasionally, you won't get daily sneezing. And rusting of iron, it takes lot of time. And landslides due to rainy season, they will come only in the rainy season, even they confined to few places only. So, the periodic change regularly happens will be wall clock. Swinging of wall clock pendulum is a periodic change. The right option is A. An example of undesirable change. We are having one more undesirable. Undesirable means human does not need that kind of change. What is that? Formation of curd from milk? No. It is a desirable change. Changes of weather? No. It should happen. For food turning bad in summer? Yes. This is an undesirable change. Melting of snow in mountains? It is a desirable one. It is not undesirable one. So, food turning bad in summer, because in summer due to the heat, the food will get spoiled when you keep outside for few hours, right? So, it is an undesirable change. So, which human does not accept that change? An example of non-periodic change. Non-periodic means which does not happen regularly. So, change of season, actually they will occur regularly. No, it is a periodic change. Falling of leaves from the trees. Yes. Falling of leaves from the trees will happen only at few times only, not all over the year. So, this is non-periodic change. High and low altitudes in the sea, they happen regularly. So, this is not the answer. Phases of moon, this will also happen, changes every 15 days or so, right? We are going to get new moon day, full moon day, periodically it is going to be changing. So, this is B is the right answer. An example for very fast change. See here, they have asked, see, you have to carefully observe the question, don't run behind the answer, right? You should read once or twice, understand the question, then only try to answer the question. No, there should not be any hurry, right? Burning of matchstick, yes, it is a fast change. Within seconds, it will burn. Milk changing into curd, no, it is not a fast change, it takes some time, around few hours. Water changing into ice, it will also take some time, around, if you keep it in refrigerator for hours together. Germination of mustard seed, it takes few days actually. So, the right option is fast change, burning of matchstick. Next one, a physical change is a dash. Change of state only, change of color only, temporary change which can be reversed, none of these. Actually, physical change is a temporary change which can be reversed. So, the option is C. An example of physical change, magnetization of iron, burning of food, photosynthesis by the plants, digestion of food. This digestion of food is a chemical change. Okay, we can, once you eat the food and when enters into our stomach, we cannot get back the same food, right? So, we cannot get it reversible. Physical change is actually reversible, right? So, burning of food, it is a chemical change. Photosynthesis by the plants is also a chemical change. The correct answer is magnetization of iron. Okay, you can demagnetize it. We can make it by hammering or rubbing whatsoever. We can demagnetize the magnetic substance. So, it is a physical change. An example of chemical change here, exposing photographic film to sunlight, tearing of paper, melting of butter, formation of clouds. See, tearing of paper, melting of butter and formation of clouds all are physical changes, and exposing the photographic film to the sunlight, okay, so is a chemical change. Next one, physical and chemical changes are the result of absorption or release of dash. Heat energy only, light energy only, sound energy only, some kind of energy. Actually, not only heat, not only light, not only sound, it may be some kind of energy, any of the kind of energy, right? Option D. We may get any of those. A chemical change involves a change of state only, change of color only, change in state as well as composition, none of this. Actually, in chemical change, composition change takes place. So, option C. A physical change is a temporary change, permanent change. Temporary change which can be reversed, none of these. So the option is physical change is a temporary change which we can get it back, okay, which can be reversed. An example of physical change is melting of ice, rusting of iron, burning of paper, cooking of food. Rusting of iron, it will form iron oxide. From iron oxide we cannot get back the iron, so it is a chemical change. Burning of paper, it will convert into ash, carbon dioxide and even little bit of moisture, okay. So you cannot get back from burning of paper from the normal paper, so it is also a chemical change. Cooking of food is also a chemical change. Once you cook the food, you cannot get back the raw food. So the correct option for the physical change is melting of ice. Right, next one, example of chemical change: boiling of water, burning of candle, dissolving sugar in water, cutting of a paper. See, boiling of water, if you boil the water, it turns into vapor. If you condense it, you can get back the water. So it is a physical change. Burning of candle, once the candle is burnt, you cannot get back the candle. So the option is B. Even dissolving sugar in water, you can separate sugar and water through evaporation or some other process, okay, or heating or something. But cutting of paper is also just the paper size has been decreased, but it is also a physical change. These are all physical changes, okay. So the chemical change is only one and one, that is burning of candle is a chemical change. Next example, an example of periodic change. Periodic in the sense regularly it should happen. Beating of heart of a normal person, yes, it is a periodic change. Evaporation of water is not a periodic change. Melting of snow on mountains also not a periodic change. Yawning, avlinta antar Telugulo, avlinta. Okay, while you get sleep, you are going to get, it is called yawning, right? Yawning means avlinta. So it won't happen regularly. Occasionally it will come. All these three come occasionally. So the correct answer is periodic change. It should happen regularly, that is heartbeat. Another example of chemical change and an example of chemical change: melting of wax, formation of clouds, digestion of food, magnetization of iron. Magnetization of iron, formation of clouds and melting of wax, these are all come under physical changes. There no new substance is going to be formed. Digestion of food is a chemical change. Option C. A chemical change involves change of state, change of composition, absorption or release of heat, all the above. Actually, all the above. All will take place. Solar energy is converted into chemical energy during dash: photosynthesis, respiration, fermentation, sublimation. During photosynthesis. During photosynthesis, the solar energy getting converted into chemical energy in preparation of food for the plants. Next one, a chemical change involves change of state, composition, absorption of cells, it is repeated. This is all the above. Solar energy is converted to, okay, it is also repeated, photosynthesis. Conversion of seeds to plant is a conversion of seed should convert into plant. Is it a slow change, fast change, reversible change, non-periodic change? It is actually slow change. It takes few days to convert. That depends upon the seed. Earthquake is a slow change, fast change, reversible, periodic change. It is a fast change. It will happen all of a sudden. Okay. Cooking of food is a desirable change, undesirable change, reversible, periodic change. It is a desirable change because human need food. He will cook and eat. So it is a desirable change. Desirable means what human expect to eat, expect to take, expect to change. What human doesn't expect, we call it as undesirable. Remember that. Next one, which among the following is a polyatomic element? Poly means more than 3 or 3, 4 like that. Okay, bromine, Br, helium, He, copper Cu, phosphorus P. Phosphorus is a pentavalent element, 5. So the answer is phosphorus. The symbol of which among the following element is derived from Latin name? Actually zinc, it is directly written as Zn, aluminum Al, calcium Ca, and iron is Fe. It is derived from the Latin word that is ferrum. Okay, so that is the only word, only thing. One molecule of which among the following element possesses the maximum number of atoms? Ozone, actually O3, chlorine Cl, sulfur S8, nitrogen N. Okay, sulfur will have more maximum number of atoms. Okay, even N2 will be takes place, it will be 2, chlorine Cl2. So there are only 2 to 3 atoms remaining thing. Sulfur is 8 atoms. Which among the following molecule possesses the maximum number of oxygen atoms? Carbon dioxide, the formula is CO2. Sulfuric acid, H2SO4, and nitric acid, HNO3. The formula for nitric acid is HNO3. Calcium oxide, CaO. In this, maximum number of oxygen atoms will have for H2SO4, sulfuric acid. So the answer is C, sulfuric acid. No need, children. In further classes, we will learn this chemical formulas, everything. Of course, you may get the few bits that you have in our teaching we have not done yet. Okay, nothing to worry. You just memorize now. In further classes, we will learn in detail. No need to worry. Which among the following contains 12 atoms of oxygen? See, 6 molecules of calcium oxide, 6 CaO. Okay, H6 molecules of water, 6 H2O, and 3 molecules of sodium bicarbonate, NaHCO3. Sodium bicarbonate. So 3 molecules. And 4 molecules of calcium carbonate. 4 molecules of CaCO3. Formula is calcium carbonate is CaCO3. So here 4 3s are 12. So the right option is 4 molecules of calcium carbonate is the right answer. Okay, the incorrect formula among the following: Mg2O, CaO, ZnO, SO3. Mg2O is an incorrect statement, formula. It should be an MgO, right? CaO is the right option, calcium oxide, and ZnO. So in this, Mg2O is wrong option. Actually, it will form MgO. While we studying about anion and cation, ion formation, okay, there we can get the formulas. Okay, nothing to worry. Right. The Latin name of silver is aurum, argentinum, stannum, plumbum. It is argentinum, Ag actually the symbol. So argentum. So the option is B. B is the correct option. The chemical change among the following is production of sound, magnetization of iron, curdling of milk, melting of ghee. Melting of ghee, it convert into liquid, and if you leave it for few days, it once again come back to ghee, solid ghee, if you keep it in cold region. Magnetization of iron, we can demagnetize it. Okay, so production of sound is not a chemical change. So the answer is curdling of milk. Curdling of milk is a chemical change. Right. Identify the non-periodic change among the following. Non-periodic in the sense it should not happen regularly. Change of season will happen regularly. So this is not the right option. Beating of heart regularly. Phases of moon regularly. The answer is non-periodic one is earthquake. Bursting of cracker is a dash and dash change. It is actually a chemical change and fast change. First option is correct because cracker will burst within few seconds. So not a slow change, so not a slow change and not a physical change. It is a chemical change. chemicals are going to be produced, gases are going to be produced. Burning of candle is a dash. Periodic and irreversible change, reversible and chemical change, non-periodic and reversible change, chemical and irreversible change. Actually it is a chemical change, burning of candle, and it is irreversible. Once you burn the candle, you cannot get back a new candle from the burned candle. Okay. So identify a true statement among the following. In a physical change, composition changes. No, composition never change actually. It is false. Physical change is a temporary change. Yes, it is true. Chemical change can easily be reversed. It is wrong. In chemical change, no new substance is formed. A new substance is going to be formed. So the option is C. C is the right option. Next one, which of the following observation indicates that the burning of coal is a chemical change? Formation of ash, evolution of heat, production of smoke, all of the above. All of the above. All will give you an idea that it is a chemical change. All will come. Which of the following is not a reversible change? We cannot get it back. Heating of water to steam, you can get back this. So this is not the right answer. Cooking of eggs, yes. So cooking of eggs is not a reversible change. Once egg is cooked, you cannot get a raw egg, right? Heating of wax to molten wax. So you can, after cooling it, the wax becomes solid. You can get back, right? So this is also not option. So the option is B. Properties of substances before and after a change remained same. What might be the nature of substance? C. Before changing and after changing, the properties of a substance remain same. If it is same, what might be the nature of change? Physical, chemical, fast, periodic. It is a physical change. The new substances formed during a chemical reaction are reactants, products, molecules, atoms. See children, two or more reactants combine together to form products. After chemical reaction, the new thing which is formed, we call it as product. Okay, so just you consider a preparation of tea is a chemical change. See, for that, what are the reactants we need? Water, if you use milk, sugar, tea powder, or if any some essence if you pour. And heat, you have to heat all these things. You have to combine all these things. These are all called reactants. By the combination of all these things along with heat, we get a product called tea. That tea is a product. Okay, that after from tea you cannot get back separately water, separately milk, separately sugar, separately like that. Okay, you cannot get it back. So it is a, if you can't get it back, it is what? Chemical change. If you can get it back, it is physical change. So the new substances formed during the chemical reaction are products. They will be called as products. The things which are used to get product, we call it as reactants. Okay, right. In reactants, we may have atoms or molecules. Generally, few substances will exist as an atom, few substances will exist as molecule. Formation of steam from water on boiling is reversible change, irreversible, chemical, undesirable change. It is reversible. You cannot get back. Okay, you can get back, not cannot, you can get back. Identify the chemical change: breaking of brick by hammer, ironing of cloths, combustion of petrol into automobiles, melting of an ice cream. So, combustion of petrol into automobiles is a chemical change. Remaining all are physical change. Next one, a seed growing into tree is an example of slow physical change, fast periodic change, slow natural change, man-made reversible change. It is a slow natural change. It is not a physical change. If it is physical change, you can get it back. But it is not a physical change, it is a natural change. The growth of seedling into plant, seed growing into plant, undesirable, desirable, reversible, physical change. It is a desirable change. Okay, so because we plot a seed and we expect plant and fruits from it. So it is a desirable change. Burning of coal in air, physical change, chemical change, reversible, endothermic change. It is a chemical change. Burning of coal is a chemical change. Which of the following does not take place during tearing of paper? Change of shape, change of size, change of color, all of these. Which of the following does not takes place? Change of shape takes place when you tear the paper. Change of size also takes place. Change of color does not take place. Okay, change of shape. Shape will be changed, size is also changes. So you have to read the question twice, thrice, understand, then only you have to answer. Don't go roughly or don't go eagerly. There is a chance, there is a possibility of doing wrong. If two substances interact to produce a change, they will do so under any condition, no matter what kind of interaction takes place, only if they are in close contact, only if the interaction is under the favorable conditions. If two substances interact to produce a change, they will do only if the interaction is under the favorable conditions. Next one, photosynthesis by the green plants is physical, chemical, reversible and undesirable. It is a chemical change. Which of the following processes involve a change in state? Evaporation, condensation, sublimation. Evaporation, condensation, sublimation. Okay, change in state. All will come under. So the option should be 1, 2 and 3. Which of the following is not a periodic change? Formation of rainbow, occurrence of seasons, formation of full moon, occurrence of day and night. Occurrence of day and night. So actually occurrence of day and night is a periodic change, seasons periodic change, formation of full moon and new moon is a periodic change, formation of rainbow is not a periodic change. Which of the following statement is incorrect? Which of the following statement is correct? Not incorrect, correct. All chemical changes are reversible? No. The ripening of fruits is fast change? No. Rusting of iron is a fast change? No. In a chemical change, either energy is absorbed or released. This is the right option. In all other are wrong option. Stretching of a rubber band is a dash. Is a permanent change, chemical change, reversible change or irreversible change? It is a reversible. When once you stretch the rubber, if you leave it, it will come back. It is a reversible change. Which of the following properties can change in case of physical change? Shape and size, color, temperature, all of these. All can change. When nitrogen react with hydrogen under high pressure and temperature, it forms ammonia. Nitrogen, the formula is N2, react with hydrogen H2 to form NH3, ammonia. Okay. Which is also a gas. This is an example of. Here new substance is formed. Ammonia is a new substance. So it is definitely chemical change. Alright. In chemical change, new substance is going to be formed. It is not physical change. It is not slow change. It is not state change. The process of heating milk at high temperature and rapidly cooling to kill bacteria is called dash. Is called pasteurization, bacterial infection, chlorination, fusion. So these are all wrong options. The answer is pasteurization. Forest fire is a desirable and slow change, an undesirable and fast change, an undesirable and physical change, an desirable and periodic change. It is an undesirable and it is once again a fast change. Fire will go a rapidly fast change. Rust is a chemically different from iron, same as iron. Iron is iron with different color, dust deposited on iron. It is actually a chemically different from iron. It is an iron oxide. It is not iron. So with this we have completed our topic, children. Daily we are learning some new things. We shall learn today in this class. We learn a new thing regarding bar-tailed godwit. Bar-tailed godwit, it is one kind of bird, and recently the scientists have investigated scientists made experiment on this bird. They introduced a small chip in this bird, and they have observed that a non-stop flight, it is around 13,500 kilometers in about 11 days. Okay, so it is a bar-tailed godwit. It holds the record of longest non-stop flight by any bird. Okay, so it made a record. So scientific name is Limosa laponica, size about 42 to 46 centimeters, wingspan about 76 to 86 centimeters. Okay, weight is around 200 to 550 gram. Okay, can be double before it migration. See, ఏం చేస్తుందంటే ఇది ముందు మైగ్రేట్ అయ్యే కన్నా ముందు ఒక 1 వీక్ ఫుడ్ హెవీగా తీసుకుంటుంది అనమాట. హెవీగా తీసుకొని ఫుడ్ అనేది ఫ్యాట్ రూపంలో చేరుకుంటుంది. ఆ బర్డ్ ఎంత వెయిట్ ఉంటుందో అంత డబల్ అయిపోతుంది అది ఆ ఫుడ్ తీసుకొని. ఆ డబల్ అయిపోయిన తర్వాత ఆ బర్డ్ అనేది ఫ్లై అవ్వడం స్టార్ట్ అవుతుంది. మొత్తం ఆ 10 days కానీ 11 days కానీ ఫుడ్ ఏమీ తీసుకోదు, ఈవెన్ వాటర్ కూడా తీసుకోదు, ఫ్లై చేస్తూ ఉంటుంది. ఆ ఫుడ్ ఏమైతే తీసుకోందో అదే ఫ్యాట్ రూపంలో చేరుకుంటుంది. ఆ ఫ్యాటే అనేది అది ఫ్లై చేయడానికి హెల్ప్ అవుతుంది అనమాట. రైట్, సో డైట్ వార్మ్స్, ఇన్సెక్ట్స్, స్మాల్ సీడ్స్ లైక్ దట్. రికార్డ్ లాంగెస్ట్ నాన్ స్టాప్ ఫ్లైట్, డిస్టెన్స్ అరౌండ్ 3,500 kilometers, about 11 days. So from Alaska to Tasmania, I mean USA to Australia, over the open ocean around 13,500 kilometers it has travelled. It started from Alaska in northern hemisphere during summer and fly thousands of kilometers over the Pacific Ocean to reach Tasmania to the southern hemisphere for the summer. See how I prepared and complete the incredible journey, how it has been prepared. Feasting before the flight about 1 week. It ate about non-stop for about 1 week. It mostly eat worms, insects and some seeds like that. Weight doubles. Within 1 week the weight has been doubled. My weight almost doubles. I store lot of fat in the body. This fat is my energy fuel for long flight. Take off. I spread my wings and begin my long journey. Non-stop flight. I fly day and night for about 11 days without stopping anywhere. See, I rest in air, ride the winds and stay focused on my goal. Landing in Tasmania, I finally reached the Tasmania, exhausted but proud. I rest, eat well and enjoy the summer here. So what are the facts here? I travelled about the distance from New York to Melbourne. I fly an average speed of 50 to 60 km per hour. Okay, I navigated using stars, sun, wind patterns and Earth's magnetic field. It doesn't have any compass, right? But even though it has navigated that. My heart, lungs and muscles are highly adapted for endurance, and this journey is one of the greatest miracles of nature. So this is regarding the bird. Nature has given me superpower, preparation, energy and instinct. It teaches us that what is right preparation, even the impossible is possible, right? Thank you children. We will meet in the next class. Likewise we will learn lot of things. Bye. We will meet in the next class.